here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit. Seems I'm getting pretty good at talking. Take a walk with me. Let's walk out through the yard, pick up my trail cameras. I'm going to talk a little bit. Thanks for tuning in today, by the way. Good day, YouTubers. Walter here. Talk a little bit today about YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube lately. I stream it to my smart TV when I find something of interest. And YouTube is an opportunity to me to expand your interest and kind of renew some of your interests from days of old. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's take, for example, when I was a kid growing up in Florida, one of the things me and my brother did a lot was go fishing. We lived close to the O'Galley and the Indian River and the Banana River. We found plenty of places to fish down there. So you can go on YouTube and watch people fishing. For a long time I used to catch fish. Oh, that's got a hole in it. With a throw net. We fished most often within walking distance of where we lived in O'Galley. Sometimes we'd walk out on the O'Galley Causeway. Sometimes we'd fish from the pier behind the O'Galley Library. Well, I got some tomatoes here need picking, but I'll do them later. I'm on my route, on the way out here to bring in my trail cameras for a little while. Anyway, we'd fish off that O'Galley Library Pier. I've seen videos of where they've rebuilt it now. They got it fixed up real nice down there. But my brother and I were outdoors. You know, we did things outdoors. In the summertime, we played Little League Baseball and went swimming at the city pool. We were just constantly outdoors. In fact, we were usually without shirt, just wearing shorts and shoes. Without shirts, we'd be real tan, being outdoors all the time. But it never a week went by that we didn't go fishing 2 or 3 times. Now we fished, we'd catch speckled trout and well, there's a lot of different kind of fish we used to catch. I could spend 30 minutes naming them all. But we enjoyed ourselves, and it brings back a lot of my memories sitting there watching YouTube and watching people fish. When you got it, once in a while we got to go to the ocean and fish and swim, and plenty of people on YouTube make videos of them sort of activities. And it's something of interest. That's what I mean by renewing your interest of old. I spent some time in the Navy, so I kind of got, besides living along the rivers and in the waterways of Florida for a large part of my childhood, so I kind of got fishing in the water and stuff in my blood, swimming or whatever. Also the fact I was in the Navy. We're gonna bring these cameras in for a while. I'll put them back out in a month or 2. Well, here lately I've been watching, I got interested in watching narrowboats, videos about narrowboats. Now, I'll tell you what that's all about if you've never heard of it. Over in England, they got all these canals and waterways throughout the whole country of the United Kingdom. I don't guess it's just in England, it's probably in Scotland and everywhere else. But they used to use these canals, sort of like the Erie Canal here in America, where the horses would pull the barges and canal boats up and down the canals back in the 1700s to haul gold, coal, and various commodities to different cities and locations. Well, some of those canals over in England go all the way back to the days of the Roman Empire, I guess. I would imagine most of them back then were dug with slave labor. But nowadays, it's an entire new life. Well, it's not new. It's what am I trying to say? It's a form of living that gives people freedom. They go out and buy these narrow boats, and they cruise all over the country in their narrow boats. Ooh, that's got spider webs in it. There's a spider in that camera. Make sure I got it turned off. And I find it very interesting. I watched one guy's videos. He's called, well, I'll put a link below. It's called Chasing the Cut, something like that. And I've watched several different people's videos about it. He makes some pretty good videos. He used one, for example, that I think it was a TV news reporter or something, worked for a TV station for 15, 20, 30 years. One day he just up and sells his house, gets rid of all his bills, and buys him one of them boats. Well, them boats is kind of like a motor home if you're into that. If you know, people here in the United States travel around with motor homes and travel to different campgrounds, and it's an entire lifestyle. Well, if you think about it, them narrow boats is the same thing. They range from 40 to 60 to 70 feet long. That's pretty long, but they're only about 6.5 feet wide. Well, they got stoves, a living room, a bathroom, toilets. They got an engine on there, engine room, all the commodities you need to live, bedrooms, bathrooms. And they cruise these canals all over the country that goes for hundreds of miles. And there's like thousands of them over there in England. Well, you think about it, they got no rent. The only care they got is making sure they eat, travel wherever they want to go in that country. So they don't have an established residence. It's kind of like a gypsy life. I found it pretty interesting. I'll put a couple links down in the description. I imagine it's got its downfalls, that type of living. They got no bills to pay other than, you know, maintenance and upkeep on their boat. They got to paint it and stuff like that. But I find it quite pleasurable to sit there and look at some of them's videos. Just cruising up and down a canal about 20, 30 feet wide, goes for hundreds of miles through the countryside. I thought at one time I'd want to go get a motor home, a mobile home, but it would be just like that boat I got sitting out there in the backyard. It would be sitting there and I'm stuck here in the house. Well, those people ain't stuck. They've adapted, they've changed their whole lifestyle. People that live in the city and own a house or an apartment, you can't go anywhere for any length of time. Then people can just, wherever they stop at is where they hang their hat. Anyway, the point I was trying to make, YouTube is a whole new style of watching TV for me. My wife watches regular TV, all the same old shows we've been watching for years. Well, I've seen most of the movies anyway. I don't give a flip about these new style TV with these different kind of game shows, whatever they do. when they do have a movie on this talking about murder somewhere, I just get tired of regular TV. You'll never want for something to watch when you get watching different stuff on YouTube. I got to where I don't watch regular TV at all other than the evening news. And I do watch the Atlanta Braves playing here lately. They do real good. They've been doing good this year, but I enjoy watching it. But every evening I'll sit and watch 2 or 3 hours of YouTube. Not much of a vlog today, but I just felt like talking. I got to talking about my fishing when I was a kid. There's a lot of subjects that have interested me over the years. And you forget about them until you get to searching around on YouTube. Whatever subject you're interested in, whether it's a hobby or a lifestyle or whatever, you'll find somebody on YouTube making videos about it. I was at the store yesterday and we were getting lunch meat at the deli. Talking to a lady over there. I told her, look me up. More than once when I get in a conversation with somebody, I'll tell them I make videos and put them on YouTube. And I'll tell them, just look up for Pwalpar. But you know, 99 times out of 100, they're not going to even bother. They don't forget what the name is by the time they get home. I thought about getting me some little business cards where when somebody is interested, I can show them a card. Look at all the doodle bugs making holes under the boat trailer. But it would be like this pontoon boat. I spent a lot of money on that pontoon boat, and it was a mistake. Why? Because I'm not able to get out and go by myself all the time. It's a 2 or 3 people job, but I got it here when I get ready to go fishing. So don't even bother to ask me, is it for sale? It'll be here when I die. A lot of people tell me I need to get out and take my boat and go. It's like anything else. It takes money. When I was a kid, fishing in the river, the Banana River, Indian River, wherever, we would go buy some frozen shrimp, a little square container, kind of like one of them Chinese food go boxes. You could get right at a pound of frozen shrimp for 35 cents back then. I bet now you'd have to pay $5 or $6 for that much shrimp. And we'd cut it up in pieces and go fish with that until we run out of bait. But we were kind of entrepreneurs when it come to needing fish bait. You can catch another fish and cut him up and use him for bait. Done that many a time. If you didn't have any bait to start with and you wanted to start fishing, you went down to the shore of the river and started catching fiddler crabs. Catch some fiddler crabs, and you catch fiddler crabs, they'll bite the snot out of you. Got little pinchers. But certain fish will bite fiddler crabs like sheephead and drum. Catch one of them and cut him up and use him for bait. So we always was able to get our bait even when we didn't have no money. Anyway, just my little rambling on today about YouTube and some of my childhood memories. I'm going to cut it short because I'm going in the house. It's Pwalpar saying, y'all have a good day.